James, you've obviously been here before. I know you have like a yellow accumulation of some sort. Does that change your approach going into such an important game, or you're just gonna go with how you should and just balls to the wall type of thing?
Not at all. I'll really try hard not to pick up the third yellow, but um, they've got a lot of talented attacking players. So if I need to be physical and try and stop them, then I'm going to do that. The most important thing is getting to the next round. I'm not going to worry too much about how that happens, and if I do pick it up and we go through, then I'm very confident that the other guys can step up, and we can keep moving forward in these playoffs.
Oliver?
Hi, this is Oliver Strand with Hudson River Blue. In the last game, it looked like that you were both tasked with helping to shut down Luciano Acosta and also be a part of the attack. So you're toggling up and back and forth, like you're not just in one part of the field. Can you tell us about what that's like and what kind of intensity you have to maintain a game like that?
Yeah, Acosta's obviously a big part of that team. He's involved in a lot of their goals, a lot of their chances, and it's definitely part of my responsibility to keep tabs on him. But it's not me alone. Keaton helps out. Justin helped out. Thiago helps out. So it's really got to be a group effort to stop someone like that. But then on the flip side, we don't want to be defending the whole game. So trying to kind of establish our brand, our style, means I have to get on the ball, have to attack. So it's about finding the right balance. And I think it's, it'll be different on the road versus at home. I think you could take more risks going for it at home. You have momentum, the crowd is into it. I think on the road you have to be a little more careful because you give someone like that space and, he'll punish you. So we're going to go at it with the same approach as the last game. And, I think we should take confidence in, what we were able to do last time.
Onto the Zoom, Chris?
Hey James, Chris Gilmore from the outfield. I want to go back to the set piece that Thiago scored against Cincinnati last game. It seemed like him breaking out wide near there right before the delivery was something different you guys have done. Was that something that you guys saw in preparation for the game against Cincinnati and worked on, or is that something that kind of Thiago just did spur of the moment, or can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, we do a lot of worked set plays. I think Rob is in charge of a lot of that, and he's very creative about how he goes about it. And I think when you look at Cincinnati, especially their three center backs, they're it's hard to win the first contact against them because they're so big, they're powerful. So we have to be creative about how we go about it. And Thiago's movement was something we worked on, but really in the moment it's up to him and his decision making. And it was a bit fortunate how it ends up, but if you don't have someone in that spot, then you can't capitalize. So I think it was a good heads up play from him.
Michael?
Hey James, it's Mike Andrew from Blue City Radio. Thanks for the time. Nick has talked a lot. You've talked. Just execute well to get the result. Do you guys anticipate something different from Cincy based on how much different the result was last Saturday versus what you saw the first?
Can you just repeat the first part of that? I didn't catch it.
I guess are you expecting anything different from Cincinnati, from Pat Noonan and what he tries to bring to the table to break you guys down more after the success you had against them in Citi Field?
Not particularly. We've played them a lot this season, and every game we've played them, they, the personnel may change, and it's something we have no way of knowing. But the system they'll use will be quite similar. So I think we have a pretty good idea of what to expect, and I think that's part of what makes this this matchup so interesting. Is you have two teams who really believe in their style and their style of play, and for the most part, it's pretty different styles. So I think it makes a good matchup, and we know if we're the best version of ourselves, we'll have success and we'll go through. It's tough on the road in Cincinnati. they were Supporter Shield winner last year, third this year for a reason. But we fully expect to, perform well and hopefully go through.
Christian?
Hi, James. This is obviously your second playoff campaign. You've been to some difficult places previously with NYCFC on the road. Is there an approach that slightly differs in the playoffs in terms of how you handle maybe the opening of the game when you know all you have to do is win versus maybe an aggregate scoreline or a different set of circumstances?
Yeah, I think it's always, playoff games for the most part are so hectic and so crazy. And especially in the beginning of the game, I think sometimes it, makes more sense to be a little more direct. And, especially with the team we have now, we have so much, pace up front with Alonso, with Hannes. To just use them sometimes and relieve some pressure, I think is important. And, from all the playoff games I've been in, they're all, they're not perfect, beautiful games. And I think even in the last game when we played well and we won, it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of second balls, a lot of duels, a lot of fights. So I think we can expect something similar. And, the team that wins will be the team that has more success in those areas.
Chris, do you have another question?
James, Chris Kelly from the outfield, having missed the playoffs last year, this particular playoff format is new to you guys. In other sports like the NBA and NHL, when they have these these drawn-out series, we often find, there tends to be some animosity towards between the teams that builds as it gets physical between the games and you play each other so many times in a row. How do you see this format kind of playing into that, and what are your thoughts on playing a team like Cincinnati 3 times in a row and facing against those same guys and getting those battles with those same guys three times in a row in just a couple weeks?
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting format. I've never been a part of a soccer tournament that's had 3 games in a row against the same team, but I think it will bring out something different from each side. And I think, those I don't think there's any animosity between the two teams, but it's obviously competitive. And, the first 2 games are out of the way now, so now it's back to normal. It's do or die until the finals. So I think we're really looking forward to it. I talked a little bit about Acosta before, but their front players, Kubo, Acosta, Orlando, are some of the best in MLS. So, I really look forward to that challenge. I embrace it, and, you want to beat the best teams. So I think that's a big motivation for this group.